Hello, this is a video to help you identify some of the resources and materials that are available using Everyday Speech. When you go to everydayspeech.com, you would click in the sign in button and use your login and password to sign in. Once you do that, you'll be taken to a screen that looks like this. This is your dashboard, and there's some new materials that they have. It'll show you your recently viewed materials. And then typically what I like to do when I'm accessing Everyday Speech or looking for a social skills lesson for my students is I like to go to curriculum. I usually start there. On the left-hand side, you're going to see that you can customize your grade level, so pre-K and kindergarten, elementary, and middle and high school. Because I teach middle school, I would click on that. And then it's going to show you a toolbar down on the left-hand side of all the different topics and goals that you can choose from when working with your students. So I'm going to go ahead and click on situational awareness. And one of the goals in situational awareness is perspective taking. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Up here, it shows you just a general overview of what perspective taking is and the learning standards you can click on. You can also click on data resources and download some of these resources to either collect data or see where your students are currently with perspective taking. As you scroll down, you're going to see the lesson units. So you'll see here that perspective taking has 7 units. And when you look to the side, you'll see an icon that says either emergent, intermediate, or advanced. Emergent is going to be more of those basic skills and used for the explicit teaching of how to think about others, how to read the room, practicing reading the room, until you get down to more of the units 6 and 7 that have intermediate next to them. This is when we get a little bit more in depth when we're looking at multiple perspectives or forming your own perspective. So I'm going to come back up to the top and click on Unit 1. And what's going to drop down is a progression of a lesson introduction video that just introduces students to perspective taking and thinking about other people. Then you have a practice activity and a discussion that you can use, either printing it out as something that the students will work on their own, or something that you could display on your big board and do together as a class. It also has a video about applying how to read the room and thinking about other perspectives. And then it also has a review. Some of the other things that are available in this unit are some visual support downloads. So these would be great for classroom walls or just individual student tools. This is a poster, so this is something that maybe you could have blown up and put in your room if you're really working on the whole unit or the whole lesson of perspective taking. This is something that you could put in your room long term, just to kind of use as a visual as we continue learning about taking others' perspectives. So that is kind of what a lesson looks like. A couple of other things to show you would be over here on the left-hand side, mindfulness materials. Again, you can customize what grade level you're looking for. So if I were to click on middle school and high school, these mindfulness materials are things that are videos or just small little activities that you can do with your students for meditation, breathing, yoga, stretching, and movement. And you would know best how your students like to look at mindfulness or how they like to practice it. Some students are more geared towards meditation. Some students are more geared towards the breath work. And then some students really like to move. So you can look through some of these different lessons and customize it to what fits your classroom. If you're not necessarily finding something or a whole unit that you want to do, but you kind of want to piece together certain things from different units, One of the other things that you can do is go back up to the top and click on all materials. And over here on the left, you can put in a lot of different filters. So you can customize the skill or goal that you want to work on. You can customize your material type, so videos, activities, and games. The students really, really like the games, and it's a great way to get them interacting with each other. And I usually put those up on the big board, and they can use the keyboard or they can come up and touch the board to play the games. You can again customize to your grade level band, and you can customize to difficulty with that emergent, intermediate, or advanced. And so when you're looking for different materials, it's helpful to have some of those filters to know exactly what you're looking for. And then if you want to go ahead and put those all into a lesson or a session together, you can go back to home and you can click on new session. And again, you can look at ages, goals, the material format, and you can search the materials here that you would like to use. You can pick your materials, you can decide what date you want to use those, assign them to specific students, and write notes for yourself for the session that you're going to do. So if I was explaining rules, I might add, and then it's going to pick up my selected material here. And maybe I want to play this dice roller game, so I've added that. And so now you can customize exactly what you want to do in your social skills lesson by clicking individual materials and putting it together as a session. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. That was just for demonstration purposes. But Everyday Speech has a lot of great material and very little prep that teachers have to do to be able to deliver quality explicit instruction in social skills. So I hope this helped, and if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out.